July 10, 2016, Stade de France, Paris. The French players are lying across the pitch, tears streaming down their faces as Portuguese players lift the Henri de Launay trophy after an extra-time winner from a journeyman striker. Didier Deschamps surveys the scene where 18 years earlier he captained France to the greatest ever triumph, the 1998 World Cup. In Euro 2016, Deschamps had been successful in blending an aging side with the promising young players that France were developing, leading them to the first tournament final since the 2006 World Cup. Now 2 years on, Deschamps again leads France into a major tournament. However, this time, the onus will be on the 1998 World Cup winning captain bringing home silverware after the heartbreak of Paris. For some reason, I've always supported France. It probably has something to do with a large contingent of Arsenal players that once dominated the French team at the turn of the millennium. The likes of Patrick Vieira, Robert Pires, Emmanuel Petit and Sylvain Wilton. And who could forget Thierry Henry? Thierry has since become just another pundit to many people, and to the people of Ireland he is still vilified because of that handball. I forgive him, by the way. But in his pomp, there really was no one better. While many of my friends were off buying Brazil jerseys because of their admiration for the likes of Ronaldinho and Ronaldo, I went off and bought myself a France jersey. Ever since then my admiration for the French national side has remained, even during the dark years from 2008 to 2012. I still hope they could make a run through a tournament and a new French dynasty will be born. That time, I believe, is now. Strength in depth. While Deschamps had the perfect blend of experience and youth in his Euro 2016 squad, this time around he will have only 5 players over the age of 30 in his final 23-man squad. But although France may lack experience, they will have some of the most exciting young players in world football at the disposal, the likes of Kylian Mbappé, Ousmane Dembélé and Thomas Lemar. And it's not just their attacking talent. Equally noteworthy is the fact that the defense has been overhauled since Euro 2016. While captain Hugo Lloris remains the No. 1, the back four has changed completely, with Samuel Umtiti the only player who started against Portugal 2 years ago. The likes of Bakary Sagna and Patrice Evra have retired, while Laurent Koscielny misses out due to injury. In the places the likes of Benjamin Mendy, Raphael Varane, Djibril Sidibe and Lucas Hernandez. Next is France's exceptional midfield, where they have the ultimate workhorse in N'Golo Kanté, or Pogba, who is transformed when away from Jose Mourinho, and Blaise Matuidi, the tough-tackling midfield general reminiscent of his current manager. Up front they have the youth of the previously mentioned Mbappé, Lemar and Dembélé, along with the experienced Olivier Giroud and the promising Nabil Fekir, as well as the game-changer for France, and possibly the best pure striker going to Russia this summer, Antoine Griezmann, who is rightly expected to be one of the players of the tournament. With so much quality spread throughout the squad, Deschamps has been left with a problem of having to leave quality players at home. Many pundits have noted that Deschamps has effectively left a World Cup winning team out of the final squad, but no one is criticizing the Frenchman for doing so. Whilst the likes of Anthony Martial, Alexandre Lacazette, Moussa Sissoko, Kingsley Coman, Adrien Rabiot, and Aymeric Laporte can count themselves very unlucky to miss out on a place on the plane. Pundits are all in agreement that the French squad is perhaps the strongest team making the way to the Russian motherland this summer. Kind draw. While pure class often triumphs in the World Cup, see Brazil 1970 and Argentina 1986, a kind draw can do a lot to build the team's momentum heading into the knockout stages of the tournament. France have been given a kind group stage draw with the most stern test expected to come against Denmark in the final group game on June 26. Before that, France will face off against Australia in the first game on June 16, followed by the second game against Peru on June 21. While Denmark pose a threat to France due largely to the class of Christian Eriksen, Australia and Peru hold no such threat and should be easily brushed aside. Once France guide the way to the top of Group C, they will face off with the runners-up of Group D, which contains the likes of Argentina, Iceland, Croatia and Nigeria. Calling Group D the group of death may be slightly premature, but it is nonetheless expected that Argentina will qualify top of the group and Iceland and Croatia will battle it out for second place. While both sides possess quality players, they will be no match for a French team that will just be beginning to get warmed up. A potential showdown with the likes of Spain or Uruguay could be on the cards in the quarterfinals. Or better still, a tantalizing rematch with old rivals, Portugal, would be even more intriguing for France, giving them a chance to right the wrongs of that Paris night 2 years ago. Of course, momentum will be key, but if France and particularly Griezmann can find their shooting, Portugal should be easily disposed of, and from there, well, anything could happen. Unfinished business for many years, France were at the top table when it came to international football. But over the last decade they have slipped, seeing the place come under threat at times. As France prepare to take off for Russia in a few weeks' time, they will want to prove two things to not just themselves but to football fans around the world. They can successfully banish the demons of losing the Euro 2016 final in their own stadium, something that many fans think still haunts them. At last they show the world that all these young players who have bags and bags of potential are able to perform as a unit, and that once again France deserve to be not just at that top table of international football teams but at the head of the table, and if they do then I see no team stopping them in Russia this summer. Now, was my jersey. Image credit. Featured FIFA World Cup, Football, France, World Cup 2018.